Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you all on this awesome, wonderful Tuesday morning? I am grateful that you were able to join in with us on today. Excuse me. As people begin to join in, I want you to just share and tag and share and let them know that I am on. We got an awesome word, excuse me, on this morning that I am excited about sharing with all of you. And while other people are waiting to get in, I'm just gonna say on this morning, I am Pastor Deidre Samuel McLeod. I am the pastor of Divine Destiny Ministries right here in Hartsville, South Carolina. And I am grateful to awesome men and women of God. And I'm also the online facilitator of Daughters of Zion Ministry. Listen, we have a awesome word on this morning, and I am excited about sharing it with you. If you can just drop in the comments, let me go make sure that y'all are able to hear me before I start talking anymore. For some reason, we're still not able to see the comments. But let me check. Make sure y'all ain't telling me that you can't hear me. Glory to God. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Not able to see. Oh Lord. It's okay. So we're gonna go ahead. Go ahead. I'm able to hear it. So on this morning, I want to talk to you just for a moment about it had to happen. It had to happen. I was thinking about on the text that I came from on this past Sunday, I talk about when Jesus spit on the man that was blind on his eyes and gave him a healing touch. I want to talk about that for just a moment. That I'm sure that at some point or another after reading this that we have said, why did Jesus have to spit on the man's eyes? They wasn't no other way that Jesus can be able to heal him. I'm sure even during that time they were all even saying, wow, Jesus spit on him, that he really had to spit on him for him to be healed. Did he really have to do it just like that? So when I started studying about spitting, I shared with the church on this past Sunday about how spitting was looked upon. Of course, we all know that if you want to get somebody to a certain place, just spit on them. That you will see a different response. You will see a different reaction come out of somebody simply by them spitting. Spitting is very nasty, but here it is that Jesus used something that was so nasty in order for a healing to be able to come forth from out of the blind man. So he spit, and as I was looking and studying the text, um, as I started breaking it down, it wasn't so much that he spit on the man, he spit on the situation. Somebody just write in the comments, he spit on it. That he actually had to spit on the situation that was causing to man to live in a place that was not the place that God has actually called him forth to be. That he was living beneath his means, he was living beneath his potential, he was living beneath everything that the Lord has actually called for him to be able to walk in, because he was in a state of blindness. And when you're in a state of blindness, you don't see the things that the way the Lord desire for you to be able to see it. You can't respond the way that you need to respond, because there's a level of blindness that you're just not able to be able to walk through, to see past, because you're blind in that area. Now, so while I was studying just a little bit more, it started speaking to me, and it started being so crystal clear to me to understand that why Jesus had to spit on it. spit because it was showing a form of mockery. It was showing a sense of shame, degrading, devaluing. So Jesus spit on the blindness because Jesus was showing that you ain't got power over me. He was showing that what you try to use to mock somebody else, I'm going to actually mock you. What you try to use to bring shame to somebody else, I'm going to actually bring shame to you. So I started thinking some more and started digging a little bit more. And it just came to me just as crystal clear as understanding that sickness can hear. Y'all ain't with me. I can't even read the comments, but sickness can hear. Jesus mocked the sickness because he knew that the sickness could hear when he spoke to it and brought shame to the sickness that's been trying to bring shame to the man. So he spit on it because he knew that it would respond to what he was saying. And he knew then that it did not have power. So in other words, I'm going to spit on you to let you know that you're going to respond to what you've been trying to now bring shame to this man. I don't know if I'm blessing y'all, but I'm blessing me. So ultimately, sickness had to be insulted because there are things that's been in your life that's been trying to insult you. So and I can only imagine a man walking through life feeling like nobody liked me, people looking upon me like I'm less than, that I'm not qualified, that I'm not called, that I'm not smart enough, that I'm not anointed enough, that I don't have the degrees behind my name, I ain't got enough zeros in my bank account, and so therefore maybe started feeling less than. So all the time, I don't know how long the man been blind, so maybe all of this time the man felt insulted, and so God said, I'm gonna insult what's been insulting you. I'm a degrade what's been degrading you. I'm gonna make it feel bad like how it been make you feel bad. So all the times the enemy might have been speaking in the man's ear of doubt, making him feel less than, making him not feel qualified, maybe speaking in his ear all this time. Because when you go to the doctor, the ear, nose, and throat doctor, all of this stuff lines up together. So is it possible that he was not able to see because of the insult of what's been spoken in his ear, that caused him to be in a place of feeling like I'm not good enough, that I'm not qualified enough, that I'm not anointed enough, that I'm not appointed enough? And so maybe he felt this kind of way, and so it caused him to go in a blind state, not able to see properly because of what was spoken to him. And I started thinking about it even in my own life, how people have spoke things to me, have made me feel a certain way and made me not feel qualified. So I didn't see my full potential. I didn't see it the same way that God was actually seeing it over me, that I was seeing it in the way that they spoke it in my ear, because they made me feel like I'm not good enough, that I'm not qualified enough, made me feel like I was a black sheep of the family and all of that stuff. So therefore I was blind, not because I could not really see, but I was blind because I could not see prophetically. My God. I don't know what y'all saying, but I hope it's blessing you. So if Jesus could speak to sickness, and if Jesus can rebuke it, then apparently sickness can hear. Because how did sickness know that it was being rejected? How did sickness know that it was spit upon, that it was being made mockery of? How did the blindness know what God was insinuating to it when he spit on it, if it could not hear? Demons can hear. My son said to me on this past Sunday, I know that some of y'all saw we wrote about the miracle that took place at Divine Destiny Ministries on this past Sunday. And he said to me, he said, "Mom, I saw when you got up, you didn't look afraid. You didn't look scared. You just started operating." He said, "Why?" And I said, "First of all, I'm confident in what I carry. I'm confident in who God has called me to be. I'm confident in the power of God that rests on my life. And I'm confident that God is able to heal, that God is able to do exactly what he said. And I said, but let me tell you something. Everybody knows me to know that I don't like animals. I'm afraid of animals. I don't play with dogs. I don't go around cats. I don't go around rats. I don't, whatever kind of animal that you have. I might can deal with you with the goldfish. And I said, but one thing that my husband always said to me, baby, dogs smell fear. And so if you keep acting like you're scared, that's why they keep approaching you. So I started thinking about the demonic realms, demonic forces. And I said, Lord, demons listen to what we're saying. And even if you're speaking something and you don't have the faith enough to believe off of what you carry, it also smell your fear. So it won't respond to the rebuke. It won't respond to the insult. It won't respond to you casting it out because you don't even believe what you carry. So the demon is not just listening at what you said. It's also listening at how you respond. The man was blind, but the demon wasn't. The demon saw Jesus spit on it. The blind spirit saw Jesus spit on it. Saw Jesus spit on it. Jesus spoke in his spit what he didn't utter out of his mouth. I pray that y'all are being blessed. So what you are walking around deeming to be whole, to be your end, to that you're honoring, demons know that Jesus have already spit on it. Now, if the man was in agreement with being made whole, Jesus could have spit on it and he would have still been blind. Faith without works is dead. It is impossible to please the Lord without faith. Jesus was doing the work, but it took the faith of man to believe that I was now going to be able to see. And because he was in agreement with being made whole and being healed by Jesus, he allowed himself to free himself from the blindness, to say, I surrender. Because after Jesus dealt with the spirit, the Bible said that he spit on it. After he dealt with the spirit, then he laid hands on the man twice. Because the man now came from out of a state of being blind to now being able to see and being free to receive. So now he was able to receive what thus saith the Lord was trying to do within him. And he didn't only receive the first part, he stayed for a second dip. So I say to you, sickness and disease have ears. They can hear. What are you rebuking? Because sometimes God allows things to happen so that you can see his glory manifest right before your eyes. It wasn't only just for the man to be healed, but Jesus was also in a town where they did not even believe. They stopped believing like how they needed to believe. And so sometimes God allowed things to happen, not because I'm against you, but because I'm trying to show not only you, but I'm trying to show everybody around you that I am real and that I am whole. Jesus allowed a miracle to be performed in Divine Destiny Ministries on this past Sunday, because Jesus needed to change the way we believe. He needed to show us. He needed to show us, I'm beyond the dance. Yeah, it's cool that y'all dance. It's cool that y'all praise. It's cool that y'all worship. But do you believe? Do you believe that I'm still the same God that was able to heal the woman with the issue? Do you still believe? Some things had to happen. Some things had to happen to show us that God is still God. And we have lost faith in God because of the people that we hang around. We have lost our faith in God, lost faith in the fact that God is able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all that we are able to ask or think, according to the power that worketh on the inside of us. Sometimes we have lost faith, and sometimes God has to allow the miracle to happen right before our eyes so that it can change our faith walk. Sometimes it had to happen. I know you don't like it. I know you don't like the way it makes you feel, but it had to happen so that God can get the glory. People can be edified, and Satan can be horrified. I pray that you've been blessed on today. I try to take my time with it so to help you to be able to understand what thus saith the Lord, and trying to help you to be able to understand that God is wanting to do something amazing. God is looking to do something awesome in your life. And I'm telling you now that some things had to happen so God can show you and everybody around you that he is still a miracle working God, that God is still able to do exactly what he said. I know that we used to talk about what he did for Paul, and we used to talking about what he did for David, and we get all excited and go into rare form when we start talking about weeping may endure for a night, but joy come in the morning. But hey, what about what he did for you? It had to happen. It had to happen. God had to show us right before our eyes that I'm still God. I pray that you've been blessed. Listen, keep your faith in God. God is doing some awesome things. God is waiting to bless you. There are more miracles. There are more signs. There are more wonders that Jesus wants to perform. You said that you want to be a conduit. Hey, how else will we be able to see his glory unless he do it through you? It had to happen. I pray that you've been blessed on today, on this awesome Tuesday. Listen, run with it. Stop trying to curse what's been what you've been going through, and look at it like this: that it had to happen because God is going to curse it so that it can no longer be a curse over my life, and that I'm able to fulfill what God has called me forth to do. I can only imagine the works that this man was able to do after the blindness was cursed off of his eyes. I can only imagine what the people were now saying because he was once blind and now he can see. I can only imagine what they was now saying about him. But look, no matter what they were saying, what matters now is that they can see. So look, I pray that the Lord open up your eyes. I pray that God do a mighty work, a mighty blessing in your life, and that you go from being blind to being able to see, that you go from being sick to now being healed, that you go from being broke to now walking into more than enough. You go from being hungry to now being fed. You go from being homeless to now having shelter. You go from being carless to now having a car. You go from being jobless to now having a job. I'm believing that God is spitting on our situation now, that we are going to see a difference in these next few days. I'm telling you, I hear it down in my spirit that change is about to come. Have an awesome and wonderful day. Listen, on tonight, we normally have Bible study, but tonight we have an awesome Apostle Timothy Warren coming to join us on this evening. I'm telling you, I don't know what is all going to happen. But all I do know is that I'm going to be in the building, and whatever God want to do, listen, I'm ready. I'm ready for it. So join us tonight at 6 p.m. Listen, I pray that you get blessed and that you receive something from the Lord. And listen, also follow us over on every Thursday when the woman of God go forth in prayer on Power. Listen, she go forth and she pray. If you're not a part of Power Ministries, join it on today. She go forth on Power Ministries as she pray and as she lead us in an awesome place in the sacredness of God. And I'm telling you, and she know how to pray and get a word through. If you're standing in a need of prayer, I'm telling you, the only thing you got to do is send a message to her and say, hey, I need for you to cover us in prayer. But don't have her to go pray for you and then you don't join in on the live as she praying for you and you sitting home chilling. Now join in on prayer as she go forth, as she cover you. And then on Friday mornings, join me for prophetic intercession. I'm telling you, every Friday morning, for around about 7 years now, I've been leading us in prayer. It shifted from just doing prayer to doing intercessory, to doing prophetic intercession. And I'm here for it. As God lead, I'm going to follow. So join us. God speaks. Sometimes God call out people names that's not even on prayer, and they receive a blessing from the Lord. And then there are some people that shows up in the room and they get a little extra because you show up. Sometimes it matters that you show up. And then follow us back over to Sunday morning as we go forth in intercession at 7:30 a.m. Yes, I did say 7:30 a.m. We go forth in intercessory prayer at 7:30 a.m. We seek the Lord early while he may be found. And then at 8 a.m. we go into worship. And I'm telling you, if you've never been to Divine Destiny Ministries, we don't do basic. God don't even do us basic at Divine Destiny Ministries. God show up and he always shows out at Divine Destiny Ministries. God been doing his big thing lately. Not that he ain't always been moving, but something different been taking place these last few Sundays. I'm like, okay, God, I'm here for it. I'm ready, all in. Whatever you want to do, I'm here for it, and I'm grateful. And then follow us over to every Monday at 7 p.m. as we go forth in Marriage Matters. We don't only want you to shout and dance and then you're forsaking your spouse, that you don't even know how to treat your spouse. This young couple, they always giving us nuggets, always teaching us about things to do. And just because they're not old as you, or just because they haven't been married as long as you, don't mean that you can't learn something from them. So I'm telling you, join in. There's always something. I'm telling you, Divine Destiny Ministries is always doing something. I believe us not sitting around doing idle things that we just sitting around idle. Now, I want us working. I just shared with my musician. I said, look, I'm not looking. I'm not looking just for just to get an income, because that's not why I do ministry. If you know anything about me, I don't even care if I get an income. I do it because I look for the outcome. And that's what I'm here for. I'm looking for lives to be changed. I'm looking. I don't know what the man of God is coming to do on tonight, but I'm telling you, I'm already full throttle. I'm ready for whatever it is. Laying hands, casting out, prophesying, whatever it is, I'm ready for it because I know that God is always with us. I love you guys. Thank you for joining us. If you've been blessed, listen, we've been raising money for our roof fundraiser. They've been calling it Raise the Roof. We're raising the roof because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to replace our roof. And we are believing God is able to do exactly what he said. God don't play about me. And that's why I don't play about God. So have an awesome and wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. I see you tonight. If I don't see you tonight, I'm looking to see you at one of our services, at one of our lives, because God is always doing something. I love you guys. Have an awesome and wonderful day.